Antonio Brown is not even the best receiver in the NFL. That distinction belongs to Julio Jones. Julio Jones.
The answer is Julio Jones. Because Julio Jones has that home run hitting ability. There's not a single thing missing.
Quintorris Lopez Jones, better known as Julio Jones, was born on February 8, 1989 in Foley, Alabama. Julio is actually a nickname given to him by his mother, Queen Marvin, who raised Julio and his brother as a single parent and worked hard to keep them both out of trouble despite living in a violent neighborhood. He attended Foley High School where he excelled in multiple sports, such as basketball, track, and football. He won the Alabama State Championship in long jump and triple jump in 2006 and 2007. As a result, he was named the Gatorade Track and Field Athlete of the Year. But it was on the football field where Julio became a star. He was a standout wide receiver and earned multiple accolades, including being named Alabama's Mr. Football. Jones was already being recruited to play football by colleges all over the nation, and by the end of his junior year, he was considered the #1 wide receiver prospect and the top 5 overall prospect in the entire nation. On February 6, 2008, Jones committed to Alabama Crimson Tide on National Signing Day.
I'm gonna make my decision by where I feel the most comfortable and where I feel like home at. So I'm gonna be going to the University of Alabama.
During this time, Alabama wasn't having much success, but under Nick Saban, Jones became a starter immediately in his freshman season. As a key player in the offense, he helped Alabama start the season off with a 12-0 record. Despite the amazing start to the season, Alabama would come up short in the SEC Championship game and the Sugar Bowl. Jones would go on to win the SEC Freshman of the Year award and return to Alabama for his sophomore season in 2009. Jones would unfortunately experience an injury, causing his stats to take a step back compared to his freshman year. Even with him missing a game and his playing time being heavily limited, he still played a vital role in the team's overall success as they finished the 2009 season undefeated as SEC and national champions. With scouts and reporters not knowing what Jones's next move would be, he decided to return to Alabama for his junior year. In 2010, Julio would statistically have his best season as a Crimson Tide, finishing the year with 78 catches, over 1,100 yards, and 7 touchdowns. As a result, Jones was voted as first team All-SEC in 2010. After his junior season, Julio will forego his senior season at Alabama and enter into the 2011 NFL Draft, ending his collegiate career at Alabama with the second most receptions and yards in school history. Heading into the 2011 Draft, Julio Jones had already built a strong resume. He was a physical, explosive wide receiver with 3 years of production in a pro-style offense under Nick Saban. But despite his on-field production, some analysts still had questions, and most had him ranked behind another elite wide receiver in A.J. Green of Georgia, who was considered the more refined and polished route runner. But Jones would quickly quiet all critics at the 2011 Draft Combine.
Is without a doubt, Mark Ingram's teammate, wide
Stole
receiver Julio Jones.
Stole the show.
Who was the star of the weekend, I should say.
Listen,
I don't think there's any dispute about that.
we all came to see another receiver, and we felt like Julio Jones may run good, might test good, his measurables may. No, he stole the show. I'm gonna tell you right now, he stole the show.
Look at that.
Finishing with a time of 4.3 on the 40-yard dash and performing on a historic level in all other events as a 6'3", 220-pound receiver. Not only were these numbers impressive for a player of his size, but Julio also showcased his toughness, as he was competing with an undisclosed injury that only elevated his image in the eyes of scouts, coaches, and general managers. Following the combine, Jones rocketed up on most draft boards. He began to be talked about as a potential top 10 pick, even though most teams initially believed A.J. Green would be the first to go among receivers. Jones met with multiple teams during his pre-draft process, but one team stood out for their aggressive interest. The Atlanta Falcons, who were sitting at the 27th pick overall, made a blockbuster trade up to get Julio. As expected, people thought the Falcons were a little crazy to give up 5 picks for an unproven rookie. Some called it risky, but the Falcons called it necessary. And here's what the Falcons GM had to say about it.
Manager of the Atlanta Falcons, Thomas Dimitroff. Thomas, you knew it was coming. People were going to question just how much you gave up for Julio Jones. What do you love so much about Jones?
I mean, he's a big guy, as you know. He's 6'2.5", 220 plus, sub 4'4". He's very aggressive, very competitive, very passionate. And, oh, by the way, he can make the big-time play. And what we were looking for was that explosive playmaker, and we think he adds that element and is, for us, a great combination and complement to what we have with Roddy White and the rest of our receiver group.
With the 6th pick in the 2011 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Julio Jones, wide receiver, Alabama.
So Julio Jones coming to the stage. This breaks the hearts of some Rams fans that hope that he possibly could drop to them down all the way to 14. It also leaves Blaine.
He wasn't just a rookie, he was a warning, and the Atlanta Falcons found their next superstar. Just like at Alabama, Jones would immediately become an important piece to the team's overall success, finishing his rookie year just shy under 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns, finishing the 2011 season with a record of 10-6, and eventually matching up against the New York Giants in a playoff wildcard game, as the Falcons would go on to lose 24-2. In just his second year, Jones exploded, with over 1,000 yards, double-digit touchdowns, and his first Pro Bowl selection. He wasn't just good, he was terrifying, going from a rookie to now a player teams have to game plan for. Starting the season off with an 8-0 record and only losing 3 games for the entire season, Jones and the Falcons would just come 1 game shy from making the Super Bowl, as they fell short in a nail-biter against the San Francisco 49ers. Entering into the 2013 season, Julio was showing a lot of promise, and just as things seemed to have been going good, Julio was suffering an injury only 5 games into the season. As a result, the Falcons would go on to miss the playoffs as they finished the year with a 4-12 record. Most people will look at this as a setback, but for Julio, it was just fuel to the fire, as Julio would come back like a man on a mission, torching the league for over 1,500 yards. He was literally the definition of unguardable. Every catch looked like it was something out of a video game. Julio just wasn't back. He was better than ever. 2015 to 2019 wasn't just Julio's prime, he was untouchable, and many analysts and experts argued and made cases of him being the best receiver in all of football.
No one can question Julio's work ethic. No one can question Julio's ability.
The answer is Julio Jones.
Antonio Brown is not even the best receiver in the NFL. That distinction belongs to Julio Jones.
First of all, Julio Jones is the best wide receiver in the NFL.
He keeps his head down. He's a good teammate. He's a team player. He doesn't give you any of the baggage any of the other guys do.
I'm gonna take the great big man over the great little man. Go get me 6'3", 220 pounds that can run 4.3.
If I'm starting a team and you tell me I can pick one wide receiver, that's who I'm picking.
Being selected as a first-team All-Pro receiver and his legendary 300-yard game against the Carolina Panthers, Jones and his 1,400-yard season will help the Falcons make it to Super Bowl 51, where he made one of the greatest catches in his career.
Steps through it, throws on the run, and Jones with a catch. Phenomenal catch by Julio Jones on the sideline.
As we all know by now, the Falcons was on the wrong end of the greatest comeback in NFL history. He may have lost in the Super Bowl, but his legacy was still cemented, as Jones reached the 12,000-yard milestone faster than anyone in NFL history, with 6 straight seasons with 1,300+ yards. He was like a receiver that we've never seen before, and it's safe to say that the Browns regret trading their pick away to the Falcons. But you know what they say, Father Time is undefeated. Even though Julio was still capable to play on a high level, injuries began to creep in. Nagging injuries to different parts of his body and an ongoing hamstring injury caused many setbacks. Despite Julio being considered a Falcon legend, the NFL is still a business at the end of the day. And with that being said, Julio and the Falcons both had to do what's best for their futures. But during this time, before anything was set in stone, Shannon Sharpe may have set Julio up for failure, as he would record a conversation that Julio thought was private live on air.
Can you hear me? I got you. This is your favorite uncle. What's going on, bro?
Man, nothing much.
Man, look, you want to go to the Cowboys, Julio? Or you want to stay in Atlanta?
Oh, man, nah, I'm out of there, man.
You out of there?
He's out of there.
Ideally, where would you like to go?
Right now, I want to win.
Okay. Well, don't go to Dallas. If you go, you ain't winning in Dallas, Julio.
Man, listen, come on, man. You already know I know.
Okay.
Can you remind him we're on television?
Ask him why we wore the Dallas.
And in 2021, after 10 seasons with the Atlanta Falcons, the unthinkable happened. Julio was traded to the Tennessee Titans. Jones wasn't the type of player to dwell on the past. He was now on a new team, but he had the same fire. As determined as Jones was to get back to his old self, his body just couldn't keep up, finishing the year with only 434 yards and 1 touchdown.
After saying that Julio Jones would be released by the Tennessee Titans. At this point, you think about what's happened in Julio's career up until this point. What do you think the market looks like for him going forward?
Injury certainly caught up to Julio Jones. He's on the other side of this thing. His age is going to catch up to him. He's been often injured, but I think in terms of his future, he certainly can go to a team that has a dominant 2-3 receiver, a 1-2 receiver, and become that veteran complementary piece in certain downs and situations. His career's not over, but the Julio Jones that we saw 6 years ago certainly is.
But Julio wasn't done just yet, as he joined Tom Brady in Tampa Bay, chasing one last shot. Unfortunately, it would be the same story for Julio Jones. Injuries would hinder his productivity and cause him to be on the sideline. In 2023, the Eagles called, and Julio answered, finishing the regular season with 3 touchdowns in 11 games, a flicker of his old flame. Later that year, during a playoff game, Julio would unfortunately suffer a concussion, and just like that, you could feel it. The end was near. On April 4th, 2025, Julio Jones would officially retire from the NFL. Jones wasn't just a stat sheet, he was the prototype, the blueprint for greatness. Speed, strength, grace, grit. He inspired a generation, terrorized defenses, and made football fans tune in every Sunday. Jones the player may be finished, but Jones the legend will forever live.